what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ron, and behind me is my 2018 Subaru WRX. So before we get started on today's install, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all the subscribers. From the bottom of my heart, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to you guys. Without your support, the channel wouldn't get to 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate it. I can't thank you guys enough, honestly. I'm having a good time doing this, all these installs, all the vlogs and everything else, and just sharing my life with you guys, and I hope to keep doing this for as long as I can. With all that said, let's go ahead and get started on today's install. All right, so what we have here are the BaysonR CS style rear spats. Now, the reason why it took me so long to get some of these is because a bunch of the ones I've seen online have the lip that extend up to where it covers part of the bumper. Now, since my car has the USDM Rear Aero Splash Guards, I can't really use those, so it took me a little while to find the right one per se. And like I said, I struggled to find rear spats that'll work with the USDM Aero Splash Guards, and I knew I needed something with a flat surface to be able to work with. And I already purchased two front lips from BaysonR. The first one broke during the snowstorm, and I got the same one. So I decided to give these a shot to just keep everything unison and same branded. And the finish is pretty close to the OEM STI side skirts. I'll give you guys a side-by-side comparison in a second here, honestly, which was a surprise. The quality is okay, it's not amazing. I mean, they're just literally pieces of plastic, so I don't know how bad you can get with them. But so far from what I've seen, the fitment is all right, so I'm really excited to get these slapped on the car. And if you guys are wondering, it's more of a hard plastic with little to no flex. I mean, it'll flex enough to where when I screw it in under the bumper, it'll be flush, but other than that, it doesn't really flex like the front lips do. And I honestly think these will complete the look of the car without going overly aggressive. I want to get a rear diffuser as well, but I don't want the ones that stick out really far, and I just like my car to be subtle, if that makes sense. Included with the kit are some screws as well as pop clips, and I got some of this from Amazon. It's just some 3M molding tape. This isn't necessary, but I just wanted to use it for the extra protection. I typically use nuts and bolts for my installs, but for something simple like this, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the screws that it came with. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started on the install. And just a quick walk around on the car, I have the BaysonR V Limited style front lip, and these are actually the OEM STI side skirts. Luckily, I got them used just because brand new, I think they're $400. And here's what I was talking about, the finish, where it was a little similar to that. So here's the rear spats and the side skirts. So they're close enough, and I really like that. So first things first, I think I'm gonna back up the car on the ramps and then install these that way. I actually forgot, before we back up the car on the ramps, let's go ahead and put some mounting tape on here. And this is how I applied the double-sided tape, just like that. So 4 total pieces, 1 on each edge, and then 2 strips along the center of it. Now, if you're doing this, just be careful not to get too close to the edge. I had to get as close as I could inside just because the tape that I bought was thicker than I thought it would be. So with that said, I think this should be good. Let's go ahead and get the car on the ramps, wipe it down with some isopropyl alcohol, and then get these installed. I got the car up on the ramps, and for anyone wondering, yes, I do use jack stands. They're under there, and I also use wheel chocks. So I don't want to hear it. Yes, I'm being safe, at least if the car falls somehow, even with all these precautions, then at least it's on the rear of the car. All right, guys, so I'm over here on the passenger side, and the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that this surface is clean and free of oils or waxes and stuff like that, so that the double-sided tape adheres to it. So it's fairly clean. I washed it not too long ago, but there's still kind of oily, so I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol, and half of this is water, so it's a 50-50 mixture. I'm just going to throw on some of this onto this microfiber and just start wiping. And then you want to go ahead and dry it off. All right, guys, so the first thing we're gonna do after we peel off the 3M tape is line this side of it. So this is the wheel well on the passenger side, and I'm gonna line this point along with this so it is flush like so. All right, what you also want to make sure is that if you see this line right here, right there, you want to make sure that your aero guard or your bumper, if you don't have the USDM Aero Guard, is lined along this edge right here, like so. You don't want to go too far in just because it looks weird, and you don't want to go too far out just because you'll be able to see the tape and it looks ugly that way. So make sure it's on that line, and then your last and final reference point should be this right here. I'm gonna turn the camera. So just looking at it from the back, after you place it where I mentioned, your third and final reference point should be this point right here against this ledge right here. And that should give you the perfect fitment, if you can see that right there. So point to point, it's flush along the sides, and it's flush with the wheel well right here. Oh, and I forgot to mention that if you have a light, I suggest using it and pointing it up top. That way you can see your reference line right here when the light's shining on it. So let's go ahead and peel the 3M tape. I hate doing this part. All right, so as mentioned, you want to start off on this side. While you're doing this, keep your eye on the ledge right here because you can easily get it confused for the shadow. And luckily I have my light right here that's face down on it so I can see it at all times. But yeah, I'm gonna line it up right here on the edge. Carefully watch that edge. Don't lose sight of it. And then line it up with that back corner I told you about. And I think I got it on there perfectly. So now you just want to push down just to give the 3M tape a chance to adhere. From the looks of it, we got it right on spot right here. So with this point to this edge right there. So it's as perfect as it's gonna get, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. All right, so if you've never drilled into your bumper or anything like that before, be very, very careful and pay attention to this. It's very important. So each side you'll need 3 screws, self-tapping screws that it comes with, and then it comes with this push clip right here, which you'll have to drill out, but I don't have a drill bit big enough for this, so what I'm gonna do is use this drill bit. It's the biggest one I have, and I actually have some smaller push clips laying around, but in my opinion, if you use the 3M tape and if you use the self-tapping screws, you don't really need the push clip. It's just for added protection. I mean, obviously it won't hurt to do. I'm gonna do it just for a peace of mind, but I think that it'll hold with just the self-tapping screws and the 3M tape. So with that said, let's go ahead and get it drilled in there. I have a drill right here. I'm gonna do the weakest setting just because I don't wanna go too far in. And also, I'm not gonna screw it in all the way. I'm gonna finish it off with a screwdriver. So let's go ahead and get started. Very sorry for the weird angle. It's probably as best as I can get it. But yeah, we're under the car. So first things first, you wanna identify where the holes are. Got one right here where the edge is, where my finger is. I got another one right here in the middle. And then you got the last one right here on the outside. And I actually did the other side before this, so I can tell you guys confidently that this self-tapping screw, if you have the USDM rear Aero Splash Guard, is not gonna hit your bumper if you screw it on in this one. So there's plenty of room back there, so don't even worry about hitting your back bumper with the screw. So first things first, I'm gonna get my drill, and it's at the lowest setting. Look how weak it is. I can grab it and it's not going anywhere if I push it. So have it at the weakest setting and just slowly drive it in there. Make sure it's straight up. So that's in there. It's a little loose still, and we're gonna finish it off with the screwdriver after we get the other 2 screws in. All right, next up, second hole right here. Here is the last one, which is this one right here. All right, as mentioned, let's go ahead and finish it off with the screwdriver. After those are tightened, and again, you can finish it off with your drill if you're comfortable with it. For me, I like to make sure it's hand tight, just so I don't go straight through and stripping out the hole. So now we're ready to drill that pop clip in, and that hole that you want is right here. All right, so for this one, you wanna make sure that your drill has enough power to drill through the plastic. So I suggest setting it to a little bit higher settings. So let's go ahead and start, and you just wanna go straight through And if you want, you can actually put some electrical tape right here so you don't go all the way through, but I have good control over it, so just be careful and do it slowly. And all that plastic's gonna come off, and then you just want to clean it up a little bit. And lastly, we take our pop clip and just push it in there. Oh no, this one you have to screw in. There it goes. There we have it, guys. We just finished the install of the BaysonR CS style rear spats. And I should have gotten this done way sooner, but like many people, I didn't want to drill into the bumper. Honestly, this was easier than I expected. I used the 3 self-tapping screws, the pop clip and 3M tape, and this is as solid as it's gonna get. That is not going anywhere. And another reason I didn't want to get the rear spats is because I do have the USDM rear Aero Guards, and finding ones that fit on this was pretty difficult. I had a chance to get the OEM ones to match the OEM side skirts, but those ones have that lip that go up to about this point, and it's just not gonna work with this. I think Smedia did a video on it and it didn't work. I wasn't gonna take that chance, but luckily these fit. I would highly rate this product, even better than BaysonR's front lips. These ones actually are a perfect fit. They're not flimsy, and I'm just overall super happy with them. I'm pretty content with where the car's at. It's just small things like this make a huge difference on the appearance. With the front lip and everything, the whole lip kit. Yeah, I'm starting to like the way it looks. And my most favorite part is if you look at it from this angle, you can see it kind of shooting up that way, and it is amazing. I don't know, small changes like this, it just like makes you want to drive the car like right now, you know? I know you guys know what I mean, but yeah, forgive me, I'm just really happy about them. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting some rear spats, just don't even hesitate, just do it, follow these tutorials. Trust me, I was a little scared to do it like I mentioned, but it turned out great and it was super easy. All you need is to take your time, measure 5 times if you have to before you drill in, and it should work out for you. Trust me on that. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and close out the video here. If you guys have absolutely any questions about the install, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.